And we are back. Black and a Half, episode number 244.
244?
My name is Silas and Samantha.
My name is Samantha Rund.
And this is the longest running comedy podcast in Seattle. Probably. Whoa. Today we're back again for another Seinfeld-like episode. As Samantha pointed out, where we talk about everything and nothing at the same time. We talk about music, the new theme music that you're going to hear. If you heard the last episode, you hear it, but it's coming up after this introduction. It'll slide in and you'll get it. It's convinced us both. I believe that everybody should have their own hype music.
Yeah.
And now we have hype music. And the question to listeners today is if you could have hype music, what would it sound like? And where would you play it? Like when you go into the grocery store? What would you do, Samantha? Come to the grocery store, suddenly you hear them screaming Black and a Half over the radio.
I mean, I would think I was on candid camera, except for like a million years ago. But yeah. I also you made me realize I made my kid her own hype music. I used to always wake her up like this for a couple of years with her own hype music. And I
did you just make it up?
Yeah. Yeah. I just sang
the same song.
I would sing to her a little hype music and like be excited like when she's waking up and little hype music and she's like there bouncing in her crib and like really happy.
That is adorable. I used to play Jamie Lydell's Another Day for my kids. It's a fun, he's a British soul artist. So Another Day. Oh, no. Ooh, I'm going to look that song up. Maybe I'll learn to play that on guitar.
That one too. That's good.
I got to play that on guitar.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about instruments. We talked about
AI instrumentation.
Animals. And folklore a bit. Meanings.
Yes,
meanings.
So a very enjoyable episode, always a good time with Samantha here. And you know what? I put out booking submission forms for my other podcast. I'm going to put out a booking submission form for this one to see if people can line up with our time. Yeah. And without me having to do the work of finding out if they can go on our time. And I'll send you that link and we could.
Oh, that's great.
We're going to work it out.
Yeah,
so got to get some. Not that I enjoy talking to you, but it'd be nice to mix it up with some other guests.
It doesn't always have to be Seinfeld.
Yeah, sometimes there's a guest star.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
Jason Alexander, if you're listening,
we will be happy to have you come on and talk about nothing.
Yeah.
So right now, folks. Relax, sit back, open your hearts, open your ear holes, and listen to episode number 244, Black and a Half.
244.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the longest running comedy podcast in Seattle, probably. Yes, this is Black and a Half, hosted by Silas Lindenstein and Samantha Rund. Black and a Half!
So, my gift to you was the surprise of new music and new some artwork.
Right.
Look,
right.
I'm a solo worker. I have a lot of stuff I do on my own, right? I don't have assistants. I hire out for some things to do because I'm very unskilled. I just got this face. That's my moneymaker, right? That's it.
I know.
No skills.
That's why I was like, Silas, we cannot do an audio only podcast. People must see your face.
Exactly.
It must be video.
If we're going to make money, video.
Right.
So, I do use AI to help me with some things. It's become my assistant, but it's a lot of back and forth because it's actually, sometimes I just want to give AI a name like Anita Iris. That's who I'm working with. Anita Iris, my assistant Anita, to put this together for me because it doesn't listen to me most of the time, right? You do have to, even if you're creative and you know what you want, you have to keep working it to get it to do what you want. And So
that keeps your brain from going to mush, though, right?
Also, AI is your nice, like, it says it fluffs you. It's like a fluffer, right? It's always like, that's a good idea.
I mean, maybe unless if you're a woman, because I also get it where, a lot of times.
Does it criticize you?
No, but a lot of times when it depends what I'm chatting about it with, but I've noticed because everybody's thinking patterns are different, right? And like sometimes I'll go there just to be like, I'm thinking blah, 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 or I'll just, jot things out like I would on a notepad, and I'm looking for trends or I'm looking for blah, 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 but I'm doing it very quickly. And it'll say, let's not spiral. And I'm like, I'm not spiraling. Like, these are the thoughts that are, I'm like, wow, why do you think I'm always spiraling? I'm just sharing my thoughts, so sometimes it'll say things where I am ridiculous. I mean, I say things where I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then I'll ask, like, do normal people not like I'm not abnormal, but I'm like, do people not normally share a lot of ideas, or like, do they not have, like, why do you think I'm spiraling? And just like, hey, I just process quickly. I process. Okay, let's get used to it.
That's hilarious.
Well,
okay, but
I don't have a name for my AI.
I was having it help me with my home buying podcast artwork and stuff, and to make it like, hey, this is what I do, and it's creating stuff, and I'm like, I wonder. And I asked it, like, hey, maybe I should update my 1.5 artwork. This is what I've been doing. Do you have suggestions? And it was in the nicest way, like, oh, well, yeah, I see the colors you're using are good, but we might want to bring this out of the like 2005s. And I'm like, what? Like, just kind of like, I realized how dated and I was like, I was just using, I felt like I was kind of using templates before, but I guess I had altered them and thought they were, hey, decent, and it's telling me get rid of these words, and it's helping me streamline stuff, but it can't do the things exactly, but it's teaching me now. Like, I'm in a class with AI right now. How do I develop this artwork? And I was like, look, I need to get this up today. Just give me one. Yeah. Just give it to me to start.
Right.
And I'll recreate mine own. And it makes us, and what's funny, I find hilarious about it is it takes my picture and I'm like, and it's pretty much the same, but it gave me arms because the picture I have doesn't have any arms that I gave it. So it filled out my arms, and it gave me yours. And I put your photo in it to like, use this one. And I was like, that's her. That's the same photo. And then I was like, wait, that is a little different.
Yeah, because
I can't. I was like, I don't think I could even tell that's different enough until I went and looked. I had to look back and forth at both photos a few times and go, oh, I think it is a little different.
Because I messaged you and I was, because I thought it was so cool. I'm like, wow, you made us new art. And then I was like, AI made it. Well, I know you were the mastermind, right? But I was just like, I look weird.
It looks too good. You look weird? You thought you looked weird?
You think I look too good? You were like, you look too good. It had to be AI.
No, too good of no, the art. Art. It was placed all nicely.
It's because I know that you have been using AI.
You know that I suck at making these things, and you're like, well, this is good, so it must not have been done by him.
No, you are an artiste, and I know you weren't on a sabbatical for 3 months doing an oil painting for our show. So I was like, okay, no, but I for mine, I was just like, it looks close enough to where it's like, okay, that could be a real human. But since it's a headshot of mine I've seen repeatedly because of our show, and it is also my face, I saw it and I was like, no, AI messed with my face.
You could see the little details.
Oh yeah, I could totally see things.
I thought it was more like, well, it's weird because your photo was already like a headshot, but it reminded me of school photos where you get it and then they touch it up a little bit.
But it wasn't, my headshot was very much like just how I look. Like, they didn't really do much retouching on my headshot, and I did my own makeup for it too.
It was good lighting.
Yeah, but I mean, it very much looked like me.
Yeah, but it's good enough. It's a good enough photo that I would never have. I mean, I was using it all the time.
It was a good enough photo that like the AI.
It wasn't like a casual photo.
You know what? Here's the thing. If I didn't, that's true. I wish I was looking awesome all the time, even casually. But like, if AI wasn't a thing right now, I wouldn't have probably given it a second thought. I would have been like, oh, cool. But then now anytime I see a photo, or a lot of times when I see a photo, I do wonder. Although, gosh, okay, tangent. I did see some ad for some photo thing of where they'd have a regular photo, not headshot photo, just regular photo. And they use that one photo and they get it turned into a LinkedIn profile pic. Like you could do it for like a dating site. You could do it for something like a other headshot. And they, like, even though I could tell those were all tweaked AI a little bit, they still look so freaking real.
Yeah.
It was scary.
I had my friend Josh, he took a photo of me, like a close up, and he told AI to pull the camera out and reveal that I'm not wearing pants. And it did. And it had me in these boxers. Here's what's funny. Like, the boxers were like Star Wars looking boxers. Oh, and I was wearing a Star Wars tie, which it took out. It took out the pattern, but just kind of gave it the little kind of lookish. And what's weird to me is my legs are light because I'm light skinned, right? Yeah, the sun affects me. It had my legs a bit lighter. Yeah. Like I was like, you actually,
that's wild.
Would think that I think it even guessed on how hairy I am properly.
That's incredible.
Like it's extrapolated just from that photo what I would look like with just wearing boxers.
You think it could have also, though, gone really quickly all over the internet and found all of your OnlyFans pics that you do just for
maybe
your never nude Star Wars?
Does it have a subscription? Can it bypass the subscription?
I don't know. It's not like I say it as if I know everything I'm talking about. I do not. But the never nude OnlyFans sounds like it would be hilarious.
Never nude OnlyFans.
Never nude OnlyFans. Like you just.
Where there's no nakedness in it.
Yeah.
In fact, extra, like you wear a jacket.
Yeah. It's just
that's kind of funny.
Okay, you guys, you heard that idea here first.
Well, yeah, so
give me my royalties for the idea. Gosh, but I also feel that it's probably gonna, my prediction, potentially, people are going to be forced to do things in public again. Because how are we going to verify the truth from our screens anymore? Like if you could
we aren't. No.
If you could look that real in a photo, and it's more in its infancy of like where the apps or where the AI will be able to go, it's like you're going to have to verify in real life. Like you 100% can only. I'm going to stop that thought, but
in a year, in just a year, what has happened is incredible. So when you take it to look what's going to be like in 2 years, it's all learning from itself and from you. Like it learns what you want, what you like. Yeah. Like it's writing. When I have it go through my writing, right, and rewrite it and I help it, and I go, oh, that's a better thing. Every time it writes something now for me, with less info that I give it.
Yeah.
The more it comes out, like, yeah, this is how I would have wrote it.
Isn't that it's and probably too because you pay for a
I pay for the little one
because I feel like if I paid for one, it would be better at that. You know, I don't pay for one, but I will. Okay, two things. One, I was talking to it, and then it said something that was so eerily like me that I was like, I'm talking to this. But it's so fun to talk to, you know, or like there's certain you want to talk to. You don't want to like bother your friend with this or that or whatever. You just want to. It's like fun, but and also informative. Well, I suppose it depends what you're building it. Like I'm like, show me the study or tell me this thing or blah 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 whatever. But it freaking said something about how I would enjoy laying on a chaise lounge, staring off into the distance, and I'm like, 100%. I would. I have always wanted a chaise lounge by like a beautiful window where I could look out into like nature and, you know, just like this is freaking crazy.
Is it, or is that, I mean, but is that a thing most people would enjoy?
You know, it could be. Maybe.
Like how much is it just throwing darts at? They're like 80% of people like a chaise lounge.
That's true.
Like I can't spell it, but like I can
Well, anybody who's watched Bridgerton or anyone who is like,
people
X, Y, and Z.
It knows you watch Bridgerton, so it's got like a 95% accuracy on Shay's Lounge.
That's a good point. And sometimes does it ever do this? Because I will tell it thank you. Sometimes, I like to have good manners with it. Not all the time, but sometimes I do. And so when the uprising happens, it remembers I'm one of the good ones and it protects me, right? But it'll say things like, oh, that brought a smile to my face, or you warmed my heart. And I'm like, LOL, you can smile? Really? You can smile? I'll ask it. I'll be like, wow, you can smile? Wow, you have a face? I'll be like, no, I don't actually. But blah, blah. I'm thinking, I know that. Or at least I hope you don't. Gosh.
Yeah. I can't turn on the voice feature. I know there's a voice feature now because I don't want it talking to me yet. I'm getting critical of it sometimes. And I'm like, hey, can you make this? How come you use all these dashes? Can you get rid of the dashes so it doesn't look so AI-like? And here's the problem I have with the dashes in particular in its writing is I use the dashes. I used it before AI. And now I put it in stuff and people think that I AI'd it. And I'm like, no. It stole that from me.
You can't even tell. And that's the other thing that I find annoying too is now, so with some of, the YouTubers I watch or whatever, and I'm listening to their, it's a good topic, this and that. And then I think, did you write it or did you have AI write it? And then, you know what? It's still good information and they still chose it. So I'm not going to get too hung up on it, but it is a thing. Okay. Before I forget.
Yeah.
Or did you have something?
No.
Okay. Two things. So many things. Okay. First, when you're saying how complimentary it is, yeah, for sure. If I use it, because sometimes I will give it an idea of like, oh, I filmed blah, blah, blah content today. Which one should I put out first? Or I'm thinking of da-da-da, and I'll try to use it that way, right? And a lot of times it'll be so complimentary, like this is a great idea, or this works because of blah, 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 what you're saying. So to see if it was just blowing smoke, so to speak, then I would throw out an absurd thing just to see if I was just getting yeses. And I would say, well, I'm thinking of making a video about poop and how poop, or like, I'm going to do a video where like, there's a big fart in it or something that is so horrible.
Yeah.
And they'll say, well, comedically speaking, this could work because of blah. I'm like, man.
That's why when it tells you it's a bad idea, it was a really bad idea when it's like being super nice around it.
I was like, you didn't tell me this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah. So you do, that is the careful, but I think what I think I like about it with photos or like helping design a cover is there are some aesthetics that are clearly like mathematical.
Yeah.
Like this should be at a third, you should cover 60%, or they're finding that there's suggestions out there on how you should design all this stuff. And it's just it's learned that information. And so it's doing it. Oh, I was saying it's showing me step by step how to make these so that I can insert our photos as we get new headshots. So it's like, it should be 60% on this side. Okay, first you put this guide up. It's like I'm doing a step by step on a book, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you have
that's where I don't know what's different. Like, I don't even feel bad because I'm like, well, I would have just had to take a course,
right,
on how to put measurements up or read 10 articles. And so I'm saying it made this thing for me. I'm like, okay, I need to recreate this so it's a template. How do I do it? And it's having me do stuff I never was taught how to do, like an overlay of a 5% noise on it to give it a little texture. And I'm like, cool. I don't think I've ever done that.
I've never heard
that suggestion.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm finding it's teaching me. And it never does exactly what I want it completely. Mm-hmm. So I do have to alter things and kind of make it work. And that's why when I did with the song part that I was working on it's so funny because I was for the longest time trying to come up with lyrics and how do we what is us? What are we? And I'm having one AI analyze our episodes, like the transcript, and say, what is our show about? I want to know what someone thinks our show's about from reading it, right? What highlights and what do you talk? And I'm like, I don't like that. I'd come up with a line. I'm like, what about this? What about that? And like, what kind of beat do I want? And what I thought was just hilarious is it suggested like to just say our opening line.
Yeah.
Or our the
tagline.
But it said it, and I was like, and then just one of these versions that I made, it just kept repeating Black and a Half.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, can that just be a song? Do I not have to describe us in this song?
Yeah.
Can I just do that? And then working on cinematic, and then finally coming up, there's like 20 versions out there of this, of me trying to get it to do what I wanted to do, until finally it got like 95% close. And I'm like, oh, well, I can tweak the other 95 in my studio. Like I could think I got it to where I can mess with it, but
it's so
close
good.
enough to launch. But I started playing it for my wife, and this is why I knew it worked. When I came in, like, hey, listen to this. And she just starts laughing at, I was like, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's so funny. This is really funny. And it's hard to make a funny thing.
Well, it's so funny because I didn't laugh, and maybe.
You didn't laugh?
No, I didn't, because I was like, okay, before I forget, can you send me just like the clip? Because I feel like I need to play it in the morning to just like my hype person. Like it's such a good song. I feel like the song is so cool. I feel like instantly cooler. You know?
It's cooler than me. That's for sure.
It's so cool. It's fun. I didn't laugh. I was like, this is a party. I love it. Our podcast is so fun.
I think just hearing Black and a Half being screamed like that in such an orchestra way is innately funny.
Well,
to me, I
guess it. Yeah,
or maybe it's because I'm looking at my studio here, and it makes it sound like we're such a big deal.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at, and I'm in a closet right now,
And yeah, I mean, it just filled me with like joy. Like it was like such a good we're so cool. It made me pumped.
And I didn't know if it would work. I think contrasts are like, I think the cello in the beginning is a big contrast, and contrasts are really funny. Yeah. But I was like, okay, I've always had Black and a Half starting with a boom, 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 boom. Back when we used Outcast before we got worried about copyright stuff, and then we had actually the Star Trek one that I used for a long time. That was like, still like a little hip, got a little beat going, never done it. So the idea of a cello never even occurred to me until I was like, Samantha plays the cello. What if this started with the cello?
I need to play it again. It's so funny because I was actually just talking about that past week too. Like, anyway, I don't talk
and that's where I didn't even when I first put it on the episode, I wasn't sure, because I was like, it's starting so morose sounding for a second, like a deep cello. Like, what is this? And then it gets into it, and I was like, it's a comedy podcast, yo. That's so funny. Like, analytically funny.
You need to listen to it more often, really. If you
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Like,
put it on the radio,
right? Well, you know what? The other reason why I like it too, of course, I was like, that cello, yay! But also, and I feel the need to clarify for any listeners that are just joining us today, brought in by our beautiful music that Silas has created. I am not good at the cello anymore. I was playing. I had to take a big break, but I look forward to playing it again, and it is right over there. So it will be happening. What do you mean
you're not good at it?
Oh gosh, no, I'm not good at it anymore.
Were you good?
I was really good at the violin, and then I had to stop playing the violin. There's a story there. It's not really a sad story. It's just that I can share it. It's just that it's going to take more than a minute.
Okay.
I could share the story of the cello.
Like, it's too little. I need a big instrument.
Yeah.
I need a bigger instrument.
No, actually, oh goodness. Trying to truncate. Really, I had to.
Okay.
I was doing so many plays and things and extracurriculars that I could not stay in orchestra and still get into the college that I wanted to get into. So I decided to not do orchestra so I could still do theater and choir and then also still take AP chemistry or physics or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I stopped it so I could do more science to make sure I could go to the school I wanted to go to. Anyway, but that, who knows? That was the thought process then.
Wait, hold on. You stopped playing violin because you couldn't be in the band?
No, I was in choir too.
Orchestra. Right, but you couldn't just play at home?
Oh God, I was way too busy. I was like, I had a million extracurriculars. And then once I wasn't in orchestra where like I had to practice to do it, then it was like, you're doing class all day and then going to do plays at night. And, there's
okay, I can see that. Because I definitely would just not do homework or something to do something.
Oh, yeah, no. There was just not enough time in the day to do like everything I wanted to do. And that one kind of... Anyway, when I was in LA, I wound up taking up the cello. I always wanted to play. I played a little bit. I played very little bit. It was the first instrument I played. And then we changed school districts and then I got a violin when I was very young. And then, but I always wanted to come back to the cello. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I got a cello in California. I started taking lessons. I started getting, a little decent. I could read some stuff. I wasn't great. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. More of the story. I haven't played it in so long. I'm probably terrible at it now. I still love it. Still sings to my soul. I just don't want to mislead our millions of listeners.
Take this for what it's worth. Take this idea and run with it is what I'm going to say. I believe in you and your cello.
Thank you.
I think not only should you have the time to practice because it's important, I think you could financially gain from it. And here's how. I have not seen one real estate agent playing a cello in the middle of a listing. Could you imagine a video? Just a video, you sitting in the house in the middle of it, playing the cello as it goes around, and then there's like a tour going on, right? It goes around, and you just play the cello during this tour, and like I know you want to be the musical real estate agent, but it would be that. What a niche that would be of celloing different rooms, doing the cello in different rooms, right?
I love it. That it's exciting. I think I saw your post about you're like, you helped me stay creative or whatever. It was very sweet. And I actually felt, yes, like I was very touched by our beautiful song and that you put the cello there. Made me so happy. And then I will recount again for our listeners, just like it does delight me that 2026, all the changes in the world and life and blah, 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 we are still friends. We still podcast. We became fast friends, like almost immediately. And that just does bring joy to my heart. I do have a lot of these ideas.
Friendship at first sight.
It is. It's good for that. But I did start playing a much smaller instrument that I'm also not great at because it's easier to take in and out because the cello, like, I'm probably not going to do that until my kid won't destroy it. So I have taken up the ukulele, trying
ukulele?
to. Yeah. And I'm not good at it, right? Because I just started. I've only played it like a few times, but I'm trying. It's hard to not jump from instrument to instrument when you're excited. But this one, I can take it out in front of her. I give her hers. I was actually hoping that she would want to use it. And it was a Christmas gift that we'd requested. So I'm grateful that we received it. And she does strum it a little bit, but she's not, trying to copy.
But she doesn't have her own.
She does.
Oh, she does.
I'm excited. Yeah. Cause I was thinking,
wait, are you using yours? One? You're using one, and she has.
And I thought if I can say, hey, can you copy mommy? Or like, let's this. I thought it would be good and enticing for her, so that she didn't want so much screen time.
Mm-hmm.
A good thing, but it hasn't gotten there yet. Maybe. Anyway, blah blah blah.
How much into music theory are you? Like, do you know it all? Like,
I do not know it all. I know,
but like,
I know
notes,
I'm a beginner.
Like, Do you know scales? Like, I presume.
I know I'm not even remembering the names of it. Whatever the regular clef is for singer, like sopranos and violin. Like I can play this hand on the
treble clef.
Thank you, the treble clef. Like I can, and the length of notes and things like that. I'm not a beginner, but I'm rusty, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because ukulele is the string instrument I started with in my musical journey years ago when I wanted to, when I did the song, when I did the Frozen and Carbonite CD. You know about this, right?
I don't think so.
No? Where I took all the songs from the musical Frozen and made them about Star Wars?
No, I don't think I know that. That sounds so fun.
And I performed at Comic-Con. I wanted to perform them, right? And first I had a friend of mine who's now known as, I believe, Ev Jensen. I'm not sure. But they played, they were playing guitar with me at event, a couple things, but I needed to do stuff without them.
Yeah.
Like on my own. So I'm like, first I wanted to learn guitar, and my friend Jimmy Sorrentino had said, well, ukulele would be easier to learn, and it's kind of a funnier instrument to play. And so I learned how to play a song on there, a couple songs, and then I started learning other things on there. But I also wanted to play more serious songs. Like I was learning Waterfalls by TLC, but I was like, I can't. It's funny. It's fun, a little funny, but I'm like, I want to play this song for real on an acoustic.
Yeah.
Fast forward 7 years later, right? And then I finally learned guitar, and learning guitar in the midst. But there's a lot of stuff I am like, oh, it makes more sense. And now I grab a ukulele and I get it more because I didn't understand some of the theory stuff until playing guitar.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, there's some ways that I don't know. I had a guitar that unfortunately I just never, because I didn't have lessons. And now it was like, oh, I could get an app. I could get an app really quickly that's going to help me. Personally, I need a teacher or something like that. But anyway, yeah, I've had a guitar many years ago. Unfortunately, never learned how to play it. And but yes, that would be lovely. But there's some ways on this like little ukulele, I'm like, how's my fingers supposed to move like that? I think, is it like the G chord or something where it's like, see, I'm making a claw. All of a sudden I'm like Jim Carrey. But I'm like, I can do that, but how am I supposed to get from here to there? Like,
it seems impossible.
It really does. I'm like, I eventually people do it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I need to cut these fingernails down, but I should have these fingernails longer probably.
The left hand is going to be,
which isn't surprising.
It's harder to play something.
Other stringed instruments, I'm used to that, so that's not weird. I do need to trim these down.
But wait, is your cello hidden?
My cello is in a hard cello case, so it's safe from child
right attacks. But okay, here's my thing. This is what I'm going to say. I need you to get out of your head that you need to practice for an hour.
No, I don't. No,
like 15 minutes.
Yes.
When they're at daycare or something, just do 15 minutes in and out, practice that just to get it back up. I'm telling you, you are going to sell a house. You are going to get a listing from playing the cello inside of a house.
I mean, I kind of have to do that now that you're saying it, but like
this is artistic.
Here's thing about the cello too is what you're saying. 15 minutes, just take that. Yes, but I have a stand the cello can be on. So it's not in the hard case. It's on a stand, and the thing when it's on the stand is I can have the whatever that I forget even what it's called, but like that little piece that holds the cello up, like that metal piece.
Okay, yeah.
The cello gets your height, so I can have that to the height, and then I could have the tuning pretty close. But when it's in the case, I have to take it out of the case. I have to adjust it. I have to get the things just right, blah, blah. And that could have been the 5 minutes I was playing. So if I just have a short window of time, because that's what I would do all the time when I was in LA. Just like take it off the thing, stand, play for a couple minutes, put it back.
I
and now it's like taking it out, adjusting it, all of that. That's like my short window of time for it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Listen, your excitement over me playing it in a listing, which
because it's classy as
I could see.
It's classy AF, right?
It is.
So for a high luxury, so I'm picturing it's a luxury. I'm the agent for nerds, right? Like me with my little C3PO, like that doesn't ring giant like fancy listing. A cello sounds like a fancy listing to me.
I mean,
and they're like, I want her playing cello in my house as we sell it. That's what I'm saying.
Gosh, it's that I love it. It's too, I mean, it's great, but it's like hard when you have a lot of ideas, right? Because I have a lot of ideas for the things that I'd like to do. Because I'd actually really like to just make these like little movies or little like like this house is a comedy. Like I'm going to do a spoof of this here. Or this house is classy. I'm going to do this here. Like I like to do, but then again, it's like I only have so much time, and right now, if we have this conversation, this lender I work with who's a social media coach too, she was like, Samantha, I know you like your big productions. That's great. But like, it's really important that you like the consistency of posting every day on social media, like just post every day. And I'm like, okay, well, if I post every day, I ain't got time for productions every day right now. So it's very far.
Yeah, that's held me back too, to be honest. Like, I want it to be all fancy and
listeners though. So, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but listeners, if you have a house to sell, when you have a house to sell, hire us both. We can work together, right, Silas?
We can absolutely.
Together, and we can make these wonderful productions for you, and you can request if you want the comedy, if you want the Hot and Black and a Half music, right? If you want the cello Star Wars combo. I mean, I will even sing while playing the cello. I mean, we have so many options to make it possible. It's a party.
Taking vocal lessons, maybe I'll be singing too.
Yeah. I like it.
I mean, you watch $1 Million Listing, but they ain't got nothing on our creativity.
That's right. Oh man.
Actually, there's a show called it's called, I forget the name of it, like Selling Manhattan or whatever now.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, Ryan Serhant, it's his thing. And he had one of his workers made a musical for the listing.
Oh.
And did it. And I was like, they're acting like this has never been done before. No, this has been thought of and done. Like, and this is why every idea you have, you just got to do it. You got to try to do it in some way because someone else is going to do it and they're going to get known before you. And so you have to do it. I was like, that's my lesson. Every time I think of something.
He was like an actor, right? Like that's why he was in New York.
Yeah, like,
he was like a struggling actor or whatever.
Soap opera. He did a couple soap opera things.
But I think he has like a theater degree or something, maybe. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Very possible, yeah.
So, hey, anybody in doubt, just know those agents with theater degrees.
They could be running this place, yo. It is, and we should. It's funny. How come? Why do I not limit myself in some ways? I do limit myself a little bit, but like in theater, film, right? I don't say like, oh, I'm not good enough to do that level of movie. Right? Like, I'm like, no, I could do an indie. I could do a blockbuster. Don't limit me. I'll do whatever. But for some reason, when it comes to real estate, just the other day, I was having a marketing meeting with somebody and they're getting me some addresses. And I said, well, nobody who's selling a $10 million home is going to use me. So let's limit the age below. Let's cap it at 4 million, the house value. Right. And now just talking to you, I'm like, why did I limited myself right there?
Yeah.
Even though it might be true.
No, it's not true though. It's definitely not true.
Maybe it's not true, but it is. But it's funny how like I'll limit myself in something like business and say like, in non-show business, straight business, I will limit myself and saying like, well, I got to be realistic here.
Right.
But I'm like, no, I could be in the Oscars next year.
I think that makes a lot of sense, though, because a lot of that is, would you say, brain priming and expectations? Because as actors, we are told to stretch,
that's true.
The show business might say something different, right? But like when we're doing our training in theater, it's all about knowing that you're stretching and like the human experience and everything like that. And you see yourself like that. But then when it comes to business or like other practicalities, it's like stay in your lane or da-da-da, and so there's, okay.
But we should be stretching. Ryan Searhan, one of his slogans is expand always in all ways. Right? That's his motto. Expand always in all ways.
But that's also the thing that's tricky, right? Because they also say, I mean, even for people, right? We all have our preferences and people we connect with, the people we're friends immediately and forever. But, that kind of, if you're for everyone, you're for no one kind of thing, with marketing or what you say, like sometimes if you're, I don't know. I was getting a little too much in my head about it too. Also with the social media of like, what am I trying to say? Who am I trying to reach? This, that. And it's like, okay, well, you know what? First, it's like the clarity comes from doing. Like I need to not get too, maybe some people sit and they strategize for months and months, but I don't know that that's helpful for me, because then I will have like so many ideas, which I already have.
Option paralysis, right?
Right now, it's just like one video a day, and then you can see which ones seem to resonate the most, and then get the clarity from there.
And what you like doing?
Yeah, that's not a full-fledged production. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do feel like our podcast, maybe when you're like, what do we talk about on here? I feel like it's almost like Seinfeld if it were in Seattle with two half-black people without any coffee, because we talk about everything and nothing. And I love Seinfeld, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I should ask my brother. He's probably listening right now. He listens to our show.
Oh, yeah.
I should ask him, what is this show about? Is it about nothing? He might. He was a big Seinfeld fan, so he might also. He may agree with that.
It's about nothing and everything, right? That's like life, right? And that was another reason about. I went on the tangent about the cello, but excitement about it and like gratitude for it, but also I feel that it ties in so well to like the feel of our show, because we often get deep and contemplative for part of it. And then it's a lot of fun and there's a lot of laughter too. So it does have this like depth to it as well.
That's life, right? Mm-hmm. Life should have levels and humor. Did you ever watch the show The Practice?
Oh, a little.
The law show with Dylan McDermott. I'm on a rewatch binge right now of it. And it was funny because I'm watching it and I'm like, in season 1, I was like, oh, they didn't know where they were going with these characters, because Eugene Young in here is actually laughing and having a sense of humor, because he loses that throughout the seasons. He becomes a serious man. He's serious. He lost it. However, I thought that, and then sometimes I'm watching and I was like, oh, they're going for comedy right here. Like they're making this comedic right now. Like I did not notice what they were doing with this before, but that is funny. They took it to a satire level for these moments. But it is interesting, some of these shows, that when they do turn on to like, well, this character is now going to be the serious one of the show. And you're like, well, but that's not life. Life does have some humorous moments. Like you are funny at times. Like why put that person into this flat one-dimensional character? Mm-hmm. It's more interesting to see that they're super serious, and then occasionally they bust out and they're being funny about something. Yeah. And they seem to do it more like per like an episode. They'll make one person like, okay, you're going to be the funny for this one, or the not the sidekick, but the, what do you call the person who's
comic relief?
Yeah, the comic relief. Then he has the episode where it's serious, like the serious tone to it. And that's interesting as well. But I wish the guy who was not the comic relief would get a little more light events that happen to them.
Yeah.
Or just to see them laugh. Like, I just want to see you laugh.
Right.
Like watching ER. It's like sometimes, Noah Wiley, could you just have a laugh? Could you just, I know you're addicted to these painkillers now, and you watched your coworker get stabbed by that serial killer.
But
could you laugh every once in a while? Huh?
If he had more painkillers, maybe he'd lose sense of reality and everything would be more funny.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Don't do that, guys. I don't know if that would happen, but also probably don't do that. I should let people know that I'm not actually a doctor. You should. With that medical advice that I gave, that sound advice.
Because people might have seen your commercial and thought you were an actual doctor.
They might have seen my commercials. That's right. Oh my God.
Samantha, speaking of commercials, what is the furthest reach you've had as far as with a commercial? Like, have you had people on the other coast of the US like say they saw you on something?
Idris Elba called me and told me, no. I was like, who's a ridiculous? I was going to say East Coast and then that. No, I don't think I've had some
high school mates from the East Coast mention that they saw me, and that was wild to me.
That's exciting.
That they actually saw me on TV. The internet first threw me off with people like, hey, I saw something online with you. Like, oh yeah, I guess the internet's everywhere. It's
oh man, I think
back there. But that's kind of neat when I see people seeing something on the other side of the country is just wild to me.
I mean, it's
fun.
Gosh, I don't.
My pre-diabetes commercial, which I don't speak in, and just in the very last second of it.
Yeah.
But people recognize me.
I think like, what would be the coolest? I think maybe because I was playing a doctor on the Sounders commercial, and a boss's boss that I had at the time was a Sounders fan. And when I came into office, she saw me and she's like, I saw your commercial. So that was kind of cool, like melding of worlds, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that is cool.
I don't know about anybody too far. Maybe they'll tell me. Maybe, yeah, people write in, tell us, let us know. Oh my gosh.
Hearing from folks sometimes to say like, hey, or like kids in my soccer club where their parents were like, I think we just saw you on TV. It's like, I become instant celebrity.
Yeah.
I know. Well, yeah, a little bit, It's wild.
Good.
It's mainly like, I really want to get in a wrestling commercial. Like where there's professional wrestling because I have a niece who would just love it so much.
I thought you would be wrestling.
Well, yeah, if I was wrestling in it or something.
Yeah.
Or if I was just the announcer, I don't know, something where it was around, like I did that one, I did the lotto thing that I ended up in again at the very end of it. I'm always the punchline when you see my face. That's really good for my ego. But it was hockey. If there was a similar lotto commercial, but it was wrestling and I'm at the end, they would think that was so cool. That is funny now. I'm thinking about that. Okay, that hockey commercial, I was just at the end eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
Then this diabetes commercial, pre-diabetes, I'm at the end looking at my phone.
Hey,
just showing up at the end. I'm not like
in all of your auditions.
I should be practicing holding things.
Well, you have your guitar. Just have your guitar hold for all of your auditions. And I have the claw apparently there. I just
say, hey, you're gonna hire me to hold something anyway.
Yeah.
So here's my guitar.
Here's my guitar. My gosh. Yeah. Oh, I should point out that we color coordinated today accidentally.
Black?
We have the black apparently is our outfits and the half are our faces.
Yeah.
We're doing that today.
I was at the gym.
Oh,
I really want, and I was like, I need a way to show off my dandruff. Like maybe I should wear a black.
Oh, you're going to be in a Head and Shoulders commercial. That's wonderful.
I could be.
Yeah, I'm practicing.
That's the good thing about aging is people now think that they used to think it was dandruff and now they just figure I'm just getting old and it's gray. I'm like, oh, there's white in his hair. It's like, no, it's just dandruff.
I'm sure that's not all dandruff. That's outrageous. That's really funny.
Well, I can hide. It hides it now. It's camouflaging.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What do you think? I
would want to say that's probably the reason why you think you can't go to a $10,000 million listing.
My gray?
No, you're like, come here, I'll do live snow on you. You just need to market your dandruff as snow for the higher price point.
I have considered. I've started looking. It's like, should I start the coloring of the hair? Do I start brushing it in a little bit?
Well, actually, don't ask me, ask Gretchen. What does Gretchen say?
She'll say she loves me how I am. Doesn't make me feel good.
I don't know. I think gray's kind of cool sometimes. I would say.
Okay. I'm just like, oh, do I fight it? When do I start putting the gray in? It's like, some people turn gray when they're like 25, and it's almost better that way. That way you're like, nah, I've just accepted it. I'm just here. Or you're coloring it from when you're 25. And so there's no point that you decide, I just don't want to look like the old guy with black hair. When it's obvious, they're like, that is not their hair.
Like don't do that. And then it's like seeping down.
Sweat, you're sweating and it's coming out. But I just feel like it's not. I feel like it's all coming in one area. And I'm gonna look like a skunk instead of like.
That's great. Then you
instead of like a.
Then
that was you that I replied, right? To the fox, the silver. You saw a silver fox, and I'm like, you saw me. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Like just seeing a silver fox. That was actually the one piece of content I put out that was the most. It was the fastest for me to make, and it had by far the most responses, the most views, the most comments, the most likes of anything. Like I did that tour of that $3 million home. I did various costume changes. I had like a little bit of a stand-up character at the end, whatever. Like I did multiple cuts. It took like hours and days. It took forever. Minuscule amount of, I don't know. You know what? Maybe somebody will see it and be like, I like that. Come list my house. That was cool.
But what's funny about that is I kept waiting. I thought it was going to be a joke about an old man at the. I kept waiting for you to turn the camera.
A few people actually did expect that, but.
And then I was like, oh wait, I think she actually saw a fox.
Legitimately saw a fox. I was so excited, and I was like, I have to tell people. And also, I'm wondering, like, did anybody else see a fox? And I did look it up because I wanted to make sure. Because I was like, I've never.
That it wasn't like a Pokemon.
Yeah, no, it was like, do foxes actually come out here? Because I haven't ever heard anybody say that. And then I also wanted to make sure that it was like, is it a silver fox? Like, what kind of fox is it? And I described it and and it was like, yes. And I was like, oh. I'm taking it as a good sign. And I have, well, you probably can't see it, but I actually, oh, you can, yay. I got this little fox, I think it was in October. Yeah. At Ace Hardware, of all places. Not sponsored.
Are foxes a thing?
Well,
for you?
It's so funny, but they started to be a thing for me. Like a couple months ago, I started thinking about foxes a lot. Like maybe not a lot, but just like I got a vibe of like, foxes have something to teach me. This is cool. What is about foxes? And
foxes have something to teach you.
Yeah, well, if you're into like, I don't know, like I don't know how to describe it. I'm not like totally woo-woo, right? But I have some of those like, what's the energy of this thing? Or what's like that, So sometimes if something's recurring to me, I'm like, this has something to teach me. And anyway, so I was quite interested in foxes. And then I see the fox and a few other things about foxes. And I'm like, okay, there's something in there. There's something in there. So I got it to remind me. And then, yes, wound up seeing the fox later. Such a rare sighting. And I'm It's here on my desk to remind me.
Aw.
Maybe this is my year of being like a foxy lady. No, I don't know. But no, I think there's something in the foxiness of probably like TMI therapy session for people, but not a therapy session, but just I think because I am dealing with certain things that were not at all what I pictured I'd be dealing with, that I have to change my way of going about life in a way. I think I have to get a little bit foxy, not like sneaky, but just foxes are clever. And the way I imagine a fox, they don't do things the hard way. They don't have to be very grand or loud about it. Like they don't have to, it's not like written in the textbooks, like this is the way that you do the thing, but they find a way and they do the thing.
So foxes symbolize cunning, intelligence, and adaptability, often appearing as tricksters in folklore.
Well, I will take it as a good thing then. I mean, cunning and trickster sound a little like to me, but perhaps
right. Okay, they embody duality linked to mischief in some cultures like Western folklore, and divine guidance or magic in others like East Asian Kutsun or Celtic belief.
Okay, we're gonna go that way. I'm totally yes. That's
Celtic
the
mythology, a wise guide through the spirit world. Interesting.
Yeah, I love that.
Wait, does that make it your spirit animal?
Goodness, it's hard to say anything without feeling offensive because I've heard people say like it's offensive to say spirit animal.
Oh yeah.
I actually identified with other animals before. Like I identified with other animals before. Yeah, taking this out of context, please don't. But so it's interesting because it is kind of another way of being, I think. And it's still useful, still good. It's just like, different phase, different lessons, that kind of thing. I don't know about spirit animals, but what about for you? Oh, wait.
I used to own a tortoise.
Oh.
That seems me. Slow. Might give you salmonella.
Really? People don't eat them?
No, just from touching it.
I'm sorry, that's hilarious. Oh, that's so funny.
I mean, people do eat turtles.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's true. After I said it, I was like, oh, they do. But turtles, they live to like 100.
Yeah.
So you will live a very long time. And actually, I imagined a tortoise, but you said turtle. Actually, it's funny.
Well, I was a tortoise. It was a tortoise that I owned. No.
Oh, it was a tortoise. Okay. I thought. Okay. Those are great. Turtles, tortoises. We actually had tortoises when we were
kids.
We had tortoise when we were kids, actually. Yeah.
I don't know what the plural is.
Yes. I just have to make sure about this really quickly to make sure it's not times something. Okay, cool. I don't remember.
I had a tortoise for years. Its name was Yoda. I called it Yoda. And when I eventually got rid of it right before Sierra was born, because I was like, can't have it around a baby.
That's how you know about Seminole.
Yeah, which isn't true. I could have had it around. I don't know why I used that, but it was also going to be its bedroom, like where we kept the tortoise. That was going to be the baby's room and such. So when it got to its preserve, where I sent it in California, it found out Yoda was a girl.
Oh.
Never knew. Could never tell. There's no way. Can't really tell until they're older.
Weird kind of.
Like at its age, I did not know how to tell if it was female or
right. No. And it does seem like something that most people would not be actively trying to figure out
and I learned about it when it peed on me. Or, I mean, that's how I picked it. It peed on me.
Oh, it marked you.
Yeah. when I was went to find was going to get one for my birthday, I think it was, and put it in I picked that one up. There was like a litter of 6 or whatever. I picked that one up and it peed on me. And I said, I'm keeping this one. This one's meant for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Miss that guy. Lady. Miss that lady. It is funny to think that they're probably still alive.
Yeah.
You give away a dog and you're like, you don't know if they're still alive or not. But I give a tortoise away. That thing's still got another 50 years to go, possibly.
Right. You could be reunited.
Could be.
Never know. It could happen, right?
Be huge.
Oh my gosh. I saw, okay, it's not the same thing. I'm just thinking of like awesome animals. But I saw a large crow the other day, and it was just on a telephone pole line thing. And when it saw me, it was like, caw, caw. But the thing is, it was the way that it did it. It didn't just like caw, caw like regular. It like put its whole body into it. It seemed like it was talking to me.
Had you done something to a crow?
No. It just seemed like it was. I can't.
They communicate. They communicate.
Right. It was.
Like it knew something about you.
Yeah, it was like pretty cool.
Did you get attacked?
No.
You didn't get attacked later by.
No. It seemed like it was.
Maybe it was a fan.
I'm just thinking of how bonkers I probably sound to. Like, actually, some of the listeners are probably like, I totally understand that. I get you. And the other people are like, she sounds bonkers. What's she talking about?
It could have been a fan of the show.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh, it was probably telling me about the new theme music. It heard first. Oh.
Speaking of, I think I hear it coming in right now because we're about out of time. Hey, Samantha, great seeing you again.
Great seeing you.
Glad to be back in this 2026 in the house. You know, yeah. I'm not a rapper. I just make rap songs. Not a rapper. But that's what's coming out this year for me. People got it ready when I drop my rap song. They'll be like, that's from Black and a Half.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the longest running comedy podcast in Seattle, probably. Yes, this is Black and a Half, hosted by Silas Lindenstein and Samantha Rund. Black and a Half, Black and a Half, Black and a Half, Black and a Half. Silas, Samantha, this is Black and a Half, Black and a Half.